Hello, everyone. This is an ongoing series where I'm going to take a look at each zone and the statistics. That's one. Death statistics for each zone specifically, and see if we can kind of analyze why people are dying in specific areas, somewhere you may want to avoid in your hardcore adventure, or at least be on your toes when you're in that area, knowing it's more dangerous. Today, we're going to start with Morogh. So all data will be thanks to the Deathlog add-on. You can find this add-on down below. They also have a Discord, and they ask that you collect data and submit that on the Discord. The more data we have, the more accurate this information will be. So for Morogh specifically, you can see the heat map here, and we can see that we have a couple clusters or several clusters of hot areas where potentially could be more dangerous than others. So let's take a look and kind of try to figure out exactly what's going on here. So easy enough down in Cold Ridge, we have our cave area down here. This is the cave area for the trolls, the first cave that you come to in the gnome and dwarf area. Do know that you're required to go in this cave to kill a boss mob. It does reward a one-handed weapon, like one-handed weapons, as well as I believe a staff. So yes, while that quest is enticing, do be on your toes that this is a high death area because, again, as you're going to see with this series, a trend is going to be caves or cut off areas where respawns catch you. You try to run away, you have no way out, and you die. So, with this, just be on your toes. This is not a quest that is required to be completed. You do not have to complete this quest to be maybe taken onto a quest chain or anything like that into the rest of Morogh. So do know this is an option to skip. Additionally, just like with the PTR, there are going to be a lot of people on the initial launch of official hardcore. This will be a bottleneck. 100% this will be a bottleneck. Even in hardcore now and unofficial on Bloodsail Buccaneers, there are lines at peak playing time just of people waiting, just kind of hanging out in the cave, just waiting for this mob. So do know that on official launch, this will be a bottleneck and may be a quest that you want to avoid. Additionally, over here is another cave area for some trolls. This is going to be part of a quest chain coming from the Brunel village. This area just has a large density of trolls and a cave with trolls in it. So again, just be on the watch for any caves that you're going into. Additionally, I'll pop up on my map here. Oh, and I just saw a mage die to the Defias pillagers. We'll talk about those in our Westfall video. I almost fell victim to those as well. So we're gonna also talk about this middle here. This middle is not a cave area. Actually, this middle is a cave area. This is the Wendigo, and you can see they are the topmost mob for killing people in Morogh. And you can see the cluster of skulls here. This is all within a cave system. There is no reason to go into this cave. I will repeat myself. There is no reason to go into this cave. Don't ever do it. Just avoid it. Stay to the outside. You can easily finish this quest on the outside. Again, depending on the amount of people online and depending on the amount of people doing this quest, it may be a little cumbersome, but I see no reason besides peeking in maybe to get one or two mobs. There's no reason to dive into this cave. Just avoid it. Over here on this right side, you'll see a cluster of deaths here, as well as down here. This is a choke point in a valley with some high level mobs. I think these mobs are more for, looks like it's going to be crags. Yeah, these are just going to be the elder crags and the large crags. So the large crag boar is a bump up in level from a crag boar. And I think people just get taken aback by, especially melee, the boars have a speed boost. So what will happen is you will fight these and you'll be like, "Oh, I can't kill this. I'm going to kite." And then when you go to kite, it speed boosts itself and you're not getting away. That thing is going to be right up on your ass and it's going to kill you. So you can see here, in the top 5, 2 of the spots are taken by the elder and large crag boars. The elder one walking right next to me here. These are yellow mobs. You are intentionally pulling these. They're killing people because people are not prepared for them. So just know they have that speed boost and they are very dangerous.
enjoying the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell. Thank you, and back to the video we go.
Next we have over here is the second most killed, and it's or the second most deadly mob, and this is the Rockjaw Bone Snapper. The Rockjaw Bone Snapper is in a mine quarry area where there's a ramp that goes down, and then you're in this area. The spawn rate, there's additionally a cave. First off, no reason to go in the cave. I think that the second part of this quest he gives you is the mobs inside the cave. Personally, for me, I skip this. There is no reason for you to go into this cave, especially when there is a large amount of players online. The spawn rate for these things is insane. If you want to go over here and get some levels just safely killing out in the open quarry area, cool. That sounds great. But when it comes to fighting these, like in that cave, I didn't even touch it. I wouldn't go in the cave. This area is super dangerous. And it's more over on the actual red heat map here. This is the quarry area. This is kind of where they hang out. And then this is the cave system that goes underneath. All right. So you can definitely see there that a lot of the concentration is going to be here versus over here. Honestly, killing them back here is a lot safer. You have a lot more movement. Here, you get killed because of the spawns. The spawns are so quick, it is insane. Okay. Additionally, up here, we have a couple kills. I believe I know what that is from. So give me 1 second here. Don't even think it's on our list for top kills. It is not. So this is actually an elite quest that's located over here. This is an elite mob that gives you a green item. It's a really good quest to do, but make sure that you're the high enough level. Up on a hill, you have to walk around and go up the hill and kill it. Again, not something that's too dangerous, but just make sure you're the appropriate level to do so. Also, in an official, don't forget you can group up, so you could have that option to group up so it's less dangerous. Additionally, here we have the Frostmane Seers, so you can see it kind of overlaps our Wendigos, but this is actually a upper place that's on an upper plateau where you can walk up, and then there's a bridge that goes across. Okay, this area is where the Frostmane Seers hang out. The Frostmane Seers are a pretty hard hitting mob. Don't panic though. They will hit you with these lightning bolts, but they only can cast 2 to 3 of those lightning bolts before they run out of mana, and then they're gonna have to run and melee you. So, or melee you if you're in melee range. So do know that while they're risky, the most of these deaths are because they're accidentally pulling a large amount of them. And they are very high density on these two tight plateau areas up above. So there's not really many ways to get out. Just plan your escape accordingly. You can come up here and do the headhunters. The other option for the headhunters is over on the other side with the hide skinners. This is a dangerous area. Just be careful. Stick to the outsides. Don't dive into this area pulling multiple mobs, and you should be okay. Additionally, here, one that I am shocked to not see, you do see that we have a lot of snow leopard deaths. These are just going to be snow leopard aggro or something like that. The one mob that I was actually very surprised about was right above Karanos, right here at the lake area. It's going to be between the lake and Karanos here. This was a wolf, the alpha wolves or the young wolves, one of those. Those young wolves run around and pat, and they are very quick, and their aggro range is massive, and they are scary. So be on the watch for those wolves. If you're pulling another mob and there's a wolf near you, just assume that it's going to aggro, because that is a very dangerous area in there. Also, just a top tip while we finish this off is the route to go from Karanos to Brunal Village. It is far to the west, and the easiest way there is either the longer way, but lowest level mobs, is to actually track down to Wendigo and back around, right? What I found to be the fastest and safest way is to go up like you're going to Ironforge. Again, watch out for wolves. Usually you're fine. The wolves are going to be level 6 to 7. But when you get to this river, The river is frozen over. Drop down on the river and follow the river around to the lake. There are no mobs once you get past this point. There are maybe one or two mobs that hang out a little bit close to the river if you're not paying attention that you can pull, but this whole area is completely empty when you're walking through it. It is very safe and a very easy and quick way to get to Brunel Village. So just keep that in mind while you're doing your questing here in Dunmorrow. I hope ultimately that this was a good kind of introduction to what potentially could get you killed in this area. Definitely leave a comment down below in regards to what you think would be beneficial for this series going forward. I want to improve it, but as of right now, I'm going to use these death statistics and kind of give you guys a heads up of what you can be expecting and what to avoid. And remember, no matter what, quests in this game are a bait in hardcore. You don't have to do any quest. If you don't feel safe, don't do the quest. It's that simple. And I can tell you right now, 90% of the deaths that I have in hardcore are because I'm trying to force myself to do something for a reward that I see that I want, or maybe an objective I have in my head that is completely false. The only objective here is to live to 60. So if that means you're grinding mobs that are a level below you until you feel safe going to do a quest, then so be it. That's the way you play the game. That's the way you play the game. Never feel pressured to ever do anything, even if it's given by the game, right? Always play at your pace, play as you're comfortable, and you'll make it to 60. I hope this has been helpful. I'll be coming out with these in the future for each zone. I'm going to start with the starting zones, and then I'll start progressively going from there. Um, so definitely let me know what I can do to make these videos better. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for the future videos.